to deliver this
Good,
message.
good. And
Yes.
your skin looks beautiful. You're all
Yes.
better.
Oh, thank you. It's getting there. You know, I wanted to blame it on
Blame
menopause.
everything on menopause because one day they're going to find out it's all true.
They are. It's
Yeah, don't
happening
get me
now.
started on my whole conspiracy. What they tell us is normal. And then we're supposed to act like this is how it's supposed to be. It's not, right?
I mean, let's get you started,
Okay.
like for real.
Okay.
Like coming from the
Mm-hmm.
professional, like let's get you started. Yes. Well, it's we're like 2 minutes out. So I mean, since there's so many people, and let's just go
Super.
ahead and get started.
Yes.
So yes, Dr. Angela Davis Brown is no stranger to the Pretty Moody
Love
platform at
Pretty
all.
Moody. I love it.
And
Everything about it.
thank you. Thank you. Thank you for believing in us. And thank you for being a part every time. Like, I appreciate you and everything that you bring to the platform. And tonight we are talking about menopause and
Yes.
nutrition. That's huge because I don't know about everybody else that's out there, but sometimes it's so hard just trying to do the right thing to take care of ourselves. It seems like it's such a daunting, task to take care of ourselves and make sure that we are, choosing things to help us be healthy and what's right, what's wrong, what's too much, what's not enough. So I'm glad you're here so you can clear up a lot of the stuff and help us, especially now in this midlife, because it's some stuff that be showing up on my body and I'd be like, yo, where you
Why do you
come from?
hurt? Why do you hurt all of a sudden? Nothing's wrong with you. Right? Yes, I know. I live it.
Exactly.
I live
Exactly.
it.
Exactly. So, and I heard you came on talking about your Zumba class. So I want to get into the importance of exercise and what we're putting
Yeah.
into our bodies.
Yeah.
So let's get started and start unpacking all of this
Yes.
greatness.
Okay, good. Let's start with exercise because, yes, I am fresh out of my Zumba class and I did not stay for the next slow down or the cool down so that I told the girls, I got to be clean and dry and presentable. Like, I'm never that after a Zumba class. And let's also be clear, I love the Lord. I love my family. I love love. And it's not actually Zumba. I do this dance format called Mixed Fit. It's like a ratcheter, hip-hop-ier, for us kind of version. A lot
Ooh.
of more twerking, a
Uh-huh.
lot of more hip-hop, a lot of more rap. And I love it. Like, I need it, especially on a Monday.
It sounds like
Very high.
high energy and like
Yep.
you get to
Yes.
release a lot of that
Yes.
stuff that we're
Yes.
carrying
And
around with
I
us.
am 52. I am among the youngest in the class, right? The oldest is 76, I think. So, yeah, and they get it in, honey. They can twerk. They do the thing.
I mean, first of all, 52 where? Let's start there.
So,
52 where, honey?
thank you. Thank you. You're far too kind. So,
So how often do you work
every
out?
day.
Like, do you work out every day?
Every day.
Every
Every single
single
day.
day?
And for a lot of reasons, right? A lot of reasons. And yes, honey, yes, Carly Soul, it is amazing. It is wonderful. And if you're in the area, join us one night. Me and my friends, actually my closest friends are my dance friends because that's where we meet and what we like. And let me preface with, everyone should exercise, okay? Because when you think about it, your muscles are your biggest organ. They're bigger than your heart, they're bigger than your lungs, they're bigger than the liver, and they do more. And we're not taught all of the things that muscles do, but one of the things they do is make hormones, right? And the hormones that your muscles make are the same ones that control your sugars. There's one that acts like insulin, brings your blood sugar down. That's why I started, because everyone in my family gets diabetes. I don't want that, right? So if I can make
Right.
my own
That's right.
insulin and I have to exercise, and it took years. I went to spin, I went to kickboxing, I went to every exercise format I could find to find out what the good fit for me was. Because the best exercise in the world is whatever you love. If you enjoy it, you
Oh,
can do
I
it
love
forever.
that.
My husband and I were on the trails on one of these days. I think it was Saturday. We were walking on the trails on White Clay Creek around here, and we ran into this little old
Oh,
white
yeah.
man that we see all the time. And he's very politically active. And he said to me, "Your name's Angelina or Angelique, right?" Can I tell you, I've seen this man 20 times and had no idea what his name was. He remembered mine and my husband's. And I asked him, I said, can I ask you how old you are?
Wow.
89. 89. And he gets out
What?
there and walks 3 miles a day. He's a little hunched over. His
Every day.
memory's fine. And my memory's shot because menopause. I don't know if I already said this or not, but exercise is the only thing that prevents dementia.
Listen, listen. Let me tell you something with this. We going to unpack the memory stuff later because I did a post about that the other day, and that was probably like my second or third post on brain fog. So we going to come back to that. But I wanted to talk to you about the exercise thing real quick because it's hard. Like you said, you went years trying to find what
Mm-hmm.
actually works for you and what you like. I feel like when you're exercising, you want to get to a point where you enjoy it so you don't feel like it's
Oh,
a job,
I'm
right?
sorry. No,
But
I still feel like it's a job a lot of times. Oh, yeah, yeah.
oh, you do?
Remember, this is the other thing. Excuse me, I've learned.
Wait, do you enjoy
Yes,
it?
I enjoy it, but I don't always feel like going. Right? It was going to rain tonight. I'm
Okay.
tired. I had a 10-minute lunch break. I've been up since 5 o'clock this morning. Like, life is lifing all over the place. I had to give bad news to my
Yes.
husband. I had to deal with family. Like, a lot of things happen. And for
Yes.
me, it's a
Yes.
non-negotiable, like my job. Right? It is my job.
How do how you how do you advise, if you can, someone, how do you get to that point where you feel like no matter what, like I have to make this work for me? Because I think that's a huge part of our problem. Like we get started, you find a routine. Once you finally, get the energy to get your ass up to do something, you know what I mean? Like you get in there, and then that one day you
Right?
stop, it's a wrap. Like you have to start all over
Well,
again.
and
And I know for me, oh
no,
no,
no, go
I'm
ahead for you.
sorry. I know for me, once I fall off, it's hard to get back on.
So I would go with, again, now mind you, Sherelle, you know me, and every day that goes by, I get more and more against this whole conspiracy. Like, I'm crazy, right? So right now, I got the patriarchies on my list of people to hate. Like, I got a whole bunch of them. And one of them, I think, is that we're groomed into this all or nothing perfection, right? If it's not perfect, we did it wrong,
Mm.
right? If it's not, so letting go of that mindset. Oh, wow, today I didn't hit that goal, but tomorrow I'll try harder. That's a completely different mindset than I failed. So I guess this week is just a wrap,
Oh my
right?
gosh, I love that.
And there's,
Because that's the
yeah,
approach we usually take.
we need to. And there is a psychologist who I have fallen in love with. Her name is Dr. Sharice Johnson. She wrote a book called Expired Mindsets. But in it, she talks about, well, okay, I can't even say what she talks about because I just follow her and I love her. I haven't read the book yet. I bought it. I'm going to listen to it Friday. I have an appointment with myself to listen to this book.
You got the audio.
But it's the truth, and she talks about it all the time. Like, and the other book, The Four Agreements, like, we made all this up, right? It's not actually true. We just said, okay, I have to exercise five
Right.
times a week. Shoot, I'm already on day 4 and I didn't do any, so I might as well just wait and start. And, letting that go and living with, you did your best with what you had today. And if that meant you didn't get to exercise, you didn't get to it. But if you wake up tomorrow and you still have a body and it still works, even if it's sore, even if it's stiff, even if it's tired, your duty is to take care of it. Look how long it's taken care of you. We've all done things
Oh,
to our body that we we could not
yes.
be here for. I know I have, right? So if it's
Yes.
still here and woke up,
Absolutely.
like, use it.
Whew, that's a heavy assignment right
So
there.
Dr. Johnson also says that when it comes to our health, there's only 2 houses you can live in. One is discipline, and 2 is denial. Right? So I ask myself sometimes, and sometimes I'm like, I'm not even gonna deny it. I'm eating a cookie, right? Like, I will fully accept that I am not on the planet. Right? This is what I need right now. Like, but you get to
Right
choose
there.
and let it go, right?
That's right. And how do you, so going right into that with the nutrition part, like how do you um how's your diet? Like, are you like, okay, because I'm exercising every day, I gotta make sure I eat a certain way. I can't have this, I can't have that. Like, are you like really like a stickler? Did you cut stuff out?
Um,
Like, or you just kind of do what you
Again,
feel?
you've known me how many years, right? And I think since you've known me, you've seen me go through my 30-pound up and down, right? And I'm on the downside now because now I'm willing. Now I'm at a place in my life where I'm over raising young kids. I'm over teenagers and their smart mouths because I live with that, right? Like, and I draw a line and I say, me first, then you, right? I'll be able to handle your life better when mine's in order. So there are days every Saturday where I am at Crumble Cookie. But it's planned this time. It's not like, oh, I had a bad day, I deserve a break. Now I plan. Now
Yeah,
90% of my
yeah.
diet is healthy. If I'm healthy 90% of the time, I give myself that 10% because
I,
10% of the
I
time I
love that.
need something else. Right. And I
Yes,
break it down by day.
that's
And I
good.
may have told you I'm into this program now called Eager to Motivate. Jeff Witherspoon. This
Yes,
man,
yes, we talked
yeah,
about that on that
yes,
last
his
live.
nutrition plan is just to that. Like that's what that has taught me. And I'm not doing it to the letter, I'm doing it for me. Right. And he says modified program, modified results. I know if I modify my own plan for the day, I'm gonna have modified results. And I need to accept that
Yes,
and then take the next day on.
I love that. How do you feel menopause has changed your outlook on being healthy, just wanting to be healthy? And um, two-part question. And is nutrition just the food part?
Nutrition is the main part for me. And menopause has changed. What would you ask? How has menopause changed?
Like the way that
Oh,
you look at like
yes,
how you're taking care of
yes.
yourself now, like your nutrition, things you're putting into your body,
Well, I
and
don't.
the exercise
The
part.
exercise part is a schedule. Like I have to do it. I have accountability partners. I enjoy it, and I know I'm better after. The how I look at how I take care of myself has changed dramatically because for me, I'm at the stage of life where people are dying, right? Parents, aunts, uncles, friends' children. Like weird things
Yes,
are happening all over, and people are dying. And,
yes,
and
that's for
I'm running
sure.
out of estrogen, which means I'm at higher risk for stroke, heart attack, all these things. And when you look at, particularly at some of these funerals, I've looked at my aunts and uncles. I look at my future, right? Show me your family, I'll show you your future. If I
You
don't
say
change,
that all the
right? If I
time.
don't change, if I don't break this diabetic curse, if I don't take it seriously, then when's my time? We're all gonna die. But
That's right.
if I have anything to do with it, I want it to be when I'm older, still in my right mind, and peaceful, not traumatic to my feeling, all these things. And I should have brought I have these great little pictures. I should have brought little props, but I have one, and it's two sides. And it says, every bite you take is either fighting disease or feeding it. And on the fighting it side is every color of the rainbow, every piece of produce, every healthy grain. On the feeding it side is all the white and yellow, the dairy, carbs, cheese, bread, fried, the staples of our American diet.
The stuff that we
It's
love.
so good, right? It's
I
so
love.
good. Everybody has their vice, right? It's so good. And it's all
Yes.
addictive. And the
Yes.
paranoid part is America's doing this to us, right? All those foods on the white and yellow side are all the ones with those three ingredients: sugar, high fructose corn syrup, and polyhydrogenated oils. Those are all the oils that come from factories. Those are all the oils that they put in our snacks, our drinks, between the corn syrup and the oil. And then look at us. Look at Americans. We're puffy. We're diabetic. We have high cholesterol. We have to work to get these benefits for meds we can't afford that have commercials and jingles, right? We need
That's
shots
right.
to
And then it's
control our weight. Like,
yes.
what are we doing?
Yep. Because it's like we almost become addicted
No, we
to it.
do
You know
become
what I mean?
addicted.
Like
They've done
it's
studies.
yes.
The center of the brain, the hippocampus, the pleasure center, lights up as much as a heroin addict lights up to heroin for sugar. For people who have a sweet tooth, that's me. I'm addicted to sugar. And for casein, the fat that's in cheese that comes from cow breast
Oh,
milk.
I love
There are
cheese. I
cheese
love cheese.
people, right? Because of that, you're
Oh yeah.
addicted. And to break that addiction is just like alcohol. It's
Crazy.
minute to minute to minute, because you can say, you know what, I'm not eating that anymore. Like me today at lunch, I ordered a healthy salad. There was cheese on it. I was starving. I had 10 minutes or I would die. I ate the cheese. Right.
Give me
I'll
that
just
cheese.
eat it.
Shit.
Yes, so knowing that I did that, that was my 10% for the day. Then I don't get to have the evening thing.
Yes. So are there things that we really need to focus in on more in our menopause phase that normally it's like kind of like if we're before we're menopausal, I'm sorry, we normally
Mm-hmm.
wouldn't look at like the severity of these things, and the effects that they
Yeah.
have on our bodies. Is there certain things now that we need to be like, okay, in this time in my life, because I'm menopausal, I need to be
Yes.
doing this?
Because we are menopausal, because we are losing estrogen, our risks are now the same as, if not higher than men, for major cardiovascular events: heart attack, stroke, and then microvascular dementia, right? Macular degeneration in our eyes.
Wow.
An artery is an artery all over the body. They're the pipes, the tubes that carry the blood. Cholesterol builds up in the wall. So it narrows how much space there is because there's all this cholesterol. Then you put sugar in there. Instead of your blood flowing like oil, it starts to flow like honey, then molasses, and then fudge. That will clog your brain, your heart, your eyes, everything until you die, right? So now we need to watch those things. We need to minimize our cholesterol and maximize our fiber. Fiber does everything. It lowers your sugar, it lowers your cholesterol. That's your fruits and vegetables, number one, and your whole grains, not these simple processed foods. Those are the ones that you could eat when you were 20, remember? You could eat like a whole Big Mac and milkshake and wake up and be like, "Whoo, I feel full," and then work it off and you were back to normal. Eat that now,
Yes.
right? You'll see it on the scale for a month, right?
That's right.
But that's
Thinking
right.
about
That's
it.
what you smell it and you gain it back. But it's the
Yes.
truth. A, we can't metabolize it, and B, it makes our numbers and risk factors way higher.
Wow. Wow. So a great diet consisting of,
High
well, high fiber
fiber.
can definitely help with that, and the
Yes.
exercise
Yes. Yeah.
coupled together. So I heard you earlier say that you wanted to
Mm-hmm.
produce the insulin,
Mm-hmm.
right? And
Yeah.
that's what you're doing from the
And the
exercising.
caveat to that rule
And then,
is it's not insulin you can store for later. It's insulin that you use today. It's like using your checking account while your saving account sits. So
mm,
it just uses that. It won't be there tomorrow, but today it'll save, and then you'll have more in your savings when you're old and really need it. Same thing with your good
I love
cholesterol.
that.
The muscles will make
Hmm.
good cholesterol to protect your heart. Your heart is a muscle. Those blood vessels I was describing, those are muscles. People who
Hmm.
are out of shape come in the office. Oh my God, traffic was bad. I couldn't find a spot. I take their blood pressure is sky high. As soon as they sit and relax, it goes down because your blood vessels are made out of muscle, right? You make a fist and your bicep is hard. You relax it and it's nice and loose and mobile and you can do anything with it. Same with your cardiovascular system. Lessening
Wow.
attention, I find in menopause, I can go from 0 to 100 real quick, right? I can envision your whole death, right?
Real quick.
Real quick,
Real quick.
real quick.
I was just talking about that earlier with my
So
sister.
now I try to
Real
notice,
quick.
like, because for me, everybody's different what you get, but I tense. I tighten my chest. I know that's my sign. Girl, breathe, right? Relax. Because I've told people before, I have one woman, she's a nurse, marathon runner, excellent shape, postmenopausal, got a terrible phone call in the middle of the night. Her daughter was in an accident, right? Her daughter was not killed. She heard her daughter's voice, But her worst nightmare was that, like, something's gonna happen to my daughter, something's gonna happen to my daughter. And when she got the call and heard she was in an accident, she went like that. That tension, that momentary, she blew out half her heart. Had a heart attack, blew out half her heart. It's been 3 years. She hasn't been able to run the same. She had to go to rehab.
No. Oh
Mhm.
no.
Because
I'm so
it's
sorry to
horrible.
hear that.
And this is us. This is the new us. We're not men,
Oh,
right? We don't have vessels this big. Ours are this big. And you know, men will blow up and let it go. A woman holds
yeah.
it, so our tension is usually like
Yes.
right point center,
That's right.
right? And then something happens
That's right.
and it shuts. So we have to learn to relax. Relaxing is more than just, you know, feeling good. It really is taking a load off your blood vessels, your heart, your muscles, your whole system.
That's really good. That's really, really, really
It's
good.
also really scary to think if you're
I
not, right? I've been in the car.
That's super.
I've been there.
Yeah, that's super. Yeah, yeah. And I mean, the fact that like it can just happen and
Yeah.
you're not even thinking like, okay, yeah, let me not do that because I might have a heart attack. Like you just
And part of too, let me go back to, and cut me off if I'm talking too much. But
oh no, you're good. No, we need all of
we
this.
are groomed that everything has to be okay, that we have to take care of everybody, that this has to be done, that has to be done, and then we can rest, right?
I need to cut you off. Can you back up and repeat?
Right? We
Start from we
are
are groomed.
groomed, right? From birth, right? Boys play with toys, boys do their things. Girls, you learn to cook, clean, you play house, you do these things, right? It's changing, but it's still there, right? So we don't
Most
rest. We're conditioned to
certainly.
not rest. It's our job to take care of everything while they relax, right? While we take care of them, make sure their needs are met. We're groomed that way. It's time to let all that go and take care of us from 5 years old to 95 years old, right? Let's stop that.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
And relax.
I mean, I know it's so taboo, but it's like, how can you take care of someone when when you're not taking care of yourself? Like I mean, it really is like, we do have to like move out of that space and put, the attention on ourselves. Like,
Oh,
yeah, I feel it now more than ever.
and as
So,
women also, we're groomed to stuff in our emotions, right? Take a breath, put your big girl panties on, right, and get the job done, kind of thing. And when we do that,
period.
you know, I've learned, and I've been in therapy for years, right? I am not my feelings. When the feelings come, and you have no control over emotion, when that anger comes, when I tell you I was enraged Sunday morning beyond belief, I was so mad at my husband, right? He reneged. He reneged. He made a promise and he reneged, and I was pissed. And it was all over, right? But I remember when she said to me, and when you get that rage, like, I'm conditioned to, you know, shut down, hold it in, and get the work done. But actually letting it out is so therapeutic.
It
And it doesn't hold it.
feels so much
Right,
better.
right.
It feels so much better. And I just be like, I'm sorry if if you don't get it, but I mean,
It
it
is
is
what it
what it
is.
is. It feel good to me.
And it doesn't have to be World War VIII.
It feel
And
good
it
to
doesn't have to
me.
be verbal diarrhea.
Exactly.
Right? I ended up dumping on a
That's it.
girlfriend, but that's what girlfriends are for. You know?
Yeah, that's it. It's like, yeah, let me tell you.
You
Just it.
bleeding. Get me out of here. You better get me out of here. All that.
And especially all of us menopausal women.
Yes.
Because it'd be like on a whole nother
Oh.
level. It's
I
on
feel
a
like
whole
I'm
nother level.
not
Oh
even
my gosh.
empathetic with patients who come in and they're like in the beginning and they're like, sometimes they get a little irritable. I'm like, oh, you haven't considered homicide yet? Girl, you did. You got a long way to go.
Like you just at the tip.
Give it a year. Give it a year.
Oh my gosh.
Mm-hmm.
It's so true though. It's so true. I did that today. I was like, listen, I just need to take a moment because it's dinner en
Yes,
bloc
it
season for
is.
us. So it's so busy right now. And it's crazy. And today was super, super, super chaotic. And I was like, listen, I need to just come down and chill out before I get on my live. So I don't want to talk about this anymore. And it's okay if you get mad about it. That's fine. But I'm not talking about this right now. And I mean, and sometimes we just
Yeah.
got to do that.
Yeah.
Pick somebody, pick somebody else.
Somebody else.
Pick
I
somebody else to
just
do
drew a
it.
line. Oh wow, you that's it, but I just drew a line and that crosses it, and you. So
That's it.
sorry.
And look, and you don't want to step your toe over it. Trust me.
Right.
Don't.
That's right. At your own risk. If you do, just know it's at your own risk. I apologize
Yes.
in advance
Yes.
for your stupidity.
That's right. That's right. And we'll talk about it on the next slide.
That's right. Right.
That's all good information. So
So
good. I want to know. I'm
on
sorry, go
that
ahead.
note too, there are things in the diet that help with that. Right? We've got all our natural hormones, all of the nutrients that are in food. So back to that picture that I'm sorry you have to envision it, but you just got to envision it, right? On the healthy side, you have all the calcium in which will help our bones. Our bones are drying up because we don't have estrogen, right?
Mm-hmm.
The almonds are one of the highest sources of calcium, and so are collard greens, right? Any dark leafy green. You've got your magnesium in your nuts. That helps with the calming. That's one of the major things to help calm us down, right? Now I'm on ginger. Ginger is so relaxing, helps the digestive system because that's messing up all the time in menopause and stress.
All the time.
Right? It's
Yes.
either
All
right?
the time.
And then turmeric. Turmeric is one of the ones I love for anti-inflammation and all that kind of stuff. And like I don't know if I said this already because my memory's shot, but things hurt that aren't supposed to hurt, right? All of a sudden. So I've got my cousin turned me on to these. We make our own ginger, turmeric, lemon, and orange. You get your vitamin C, everything. I just make ice cubes. I do it like once every other month. I make a whole bunch of ice cubes and I put one a day in my water. And I really feel like it helps along with eating, right? You're eating every color of the rainbow, then you got it. You don't need a multi. We all need extra vitamin D. We've talked about that before if we live in North Carolina.
Yes. And we're gonna go back because my next question is about the supplements.
Okay.
So we'll go into that, the vitamin D and everything. Yes.
To the unhealthy side, that yellow, fried carb, dairy, sugar side. Every single thing in all of those foods is inflammatory. Even cheese, especially cheese, right? Especially sugar.
No, it's not. It's not in cheese.
I'll give you a quickie synopsis of the chapter I read in this book on dairy. So there's this book, and I read it actually 16 years ago. I read this book.
Is it called Eat Right? It's called for your type.
Called Skinny Bitch. Because I ain't care. I ain't care about my blood type, my body type. I just want to be a skinny bitch too, right? How do I get that?
I read that.
Well, the chapter on dairy, the very first sentence says, "Go ahead, suck your mother's tits." You have me and suck my mother's tits. I'm sorry, what now? I read the whole chapter in like 10 minutes. But basically, when you think about it, dairy fat is breast milk from a cow designed for a baby calf to go from 200 pounds to 2 tons in a year. They have to double their weight every year. Americans and some Europeans have taken that fat, super condensed it into big chunks of fat, right? That's our cream and our cheese. So a cow would go. Our cow, instead of taking a year to be 2 tons, now would only take 6 months. And we market it and stream it and put dyes in it and give it to people and say, "Isn't this yummy? Isn't it gooey? Isn't it hot?" And it is. And our hippocampus gets triggered and we're addicted, right? We go through withdrawal.
You said
hippocampus, the pleasure center in the brain. Better yet, turn it down. Get all the fat, and then add a ton of sugar, right? Make it ice cream. Make it coffee creamer. Make it something that you're going to have every day and clog those arteries, right? Because the last thing America wants to do is take care of you old, so why not kill you off young?
That's it.
And what a better way than in a delicious way that you have to have.
Right.
Yeah.
The food. And they know that we're going to eat.
They do.
Food.
And I've started reading the circulars different. Look at the circulars, right? The last page will be produce. All the first couple pages are all the food.
Usually on the back.
Right. 2 for 4 Ritz
Yep.
crackers, 2 for 6 Turkey Hill, right?
The Pepperidge Farm cookies. That's right. It's so
Mm-hmm.
true though. Now, are there any healthy carbs? Because we hear,
Yeah.
oh, you got to eat the healthy carbs, the healthy whole
Yeah.
grain. Is that is there such
Here's
a
the
thing?
thing, and I've known this for a long time, and I've struggled with it for a long time, but I'm getting better. If it grew in the ground, it's probably good for you.
Okay.
If it grew in the ground and wasn't processed in a factory, potatoes grow in the ground, they're good for you.
Okay.
Corn grows in the ground, it's good for you, right? Chop up that corn, put a little sugar, salt, and deep fry it into a Frito. That's not good for you, right? Same thing. So, and brown
Okay.
rice,
Okay.
the unprocessed whole clean foods, the perimeter of the shopping market. And
Grocery store.
thank you. The other thing is too, all that stuff causes lots of inflammation because we're putting in fat for cows into our body. There is more inflammation because we're putting in sugar that was designed to have this much of, and we eat this much. We're creating inflammation. Inflammation definitely fuels hot flashes. Like, I can
Oh, for
guarantee, and
sure.
pain. Right? I have patients who go gluten free for other reasons, right? But they do, and they don't get their arthritis and pain anymore like they do. Diabetics. There's all these different complications of diabetes because if your arteries are clogged with sugar, it's going to happen everywhere. You get eye disease, brain
Right.
disease, foot disease. Do you know there also is diabetic arthritis? It just swells your
No.
joints. Yeah.
Wow. And we go through a lot of joint pain in menopause. I know I experience a lot of joint pain in menopause. And it's like, it's so much so to where it's like, I don't want to say it all the time because then it's just like, okay, you don't want to sound like you're
Right.
bitching all the time and you're complaining. So
Suck
you
it
just kind of,
up.
it just becomes a
You
part of
got to
what
put
you
your big
built
girl panties
with
on and suck it up.
your big girl.
We're not
Yeah,
doing
because
that.
you're
We're
complaining too
not doing
much.
that no more. The bottom line of this talk is let it out. Eat the food, let it out, take
Let it
care of
out.
yourself. Put you first.
I love it. Just set me right on straight.
it, it happened to me Saturday morning. My
This is so
absolute
good.
favorite class. I literally just took my shirt and did that to like see if I wanted to wear it.
Uh-huh.
My whole back went out. I couldn't move. What
Are
the
you
heck?
serious?
What the heck?
Yeah, I mean
Yeah.
it happened and it just happens out of like you can just wake up and be like,
Right.
okay, all right. Like
Right.
this is
And
crazy. What's
not
going on?
fair.
And
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
totally not. Totally not. So what about the you touched on the vitamin D a little bit. I definitely take my D3. There's supplements that I'm definitely um I take more on a regular basis. Like I'll make sure like okay, if I don't do nothing else, I
Uh-huh.
have to take this. D3 is
Yep.
definitely one of them. I wear my patch every day so I
Uh-huh.
get my magnesium like every single day and night. And I do like a
Yes.
B12 and my biotin.
Yes.
Those are like
Yes.
my
They're good
staples.
staples.
Um are there like is that like do we have to have supplements? Do we have to take vitamins? Do we
No. I have come to, except for the vitamin D, but every single thing else can be found in food. So again, I say if you had a beautiful day, every bite you took was fighting disease, and you ate every color of the rainbow, you probably don't need a supplement. I do everybody's blood work. I do the people who take those, what are those expensive vitamins with the Melaleuca or whatever those vitamins are that they pay all kind of money and they order online.
mm-hmm.
I do all the blood works. They
Mm.
all look the same. A Walmart bee looks just like that bee, right? That's why I don't really buy into all that. And when you're eating everything correctly, you will not be deficient. Now,
So it's when we're not that we need
yeah,
a
right.
backup.
I mean, life is life, right? If it was a day and you just didn't get that, then eat it. I have a habit now. I keep every single color pre-prep. That's what I do on the weekend. So I have blueberries. All you gotta do is watch them, right? I have my strawberries cut up. I have an orange. I have my yellow peppers, and I buy lettuce at Produce Junction. That like I have no excuse ever. I can always throw together a salad with every color of the rainbow, and then I'm done for the day. Then I don't feel
I
bad at night when
love
I,
that. So if you get it in one, if you get it in
it
one meal
counts.
a day,
Yep,
just one
yep,
meal, you're okay.
yep. And I love fruit on my salad, so it's a no-brainer for me. I put them
Me
berries on
too.
there, and yeah, put a little
Me
olive
too.
oil.
That's interesting because a lot of times we're intimidated because we think that eating right, like getting those nutrients, you have to eat so much of it, like every
Right.
meal, or and to hear that is that makes
Yeah, it
it
really
takes
does.
the pressure off.
It really does. It doesn't have to be really hard. I also changed my mindset around food. So now when I buy my food, that's Produce Junction. Everything to go with my food, that's at the grocery store. And my grocery bill has gone way down. And these fools I live with that
I
don't want to
love
eat
that.
what I eat, I have 17, 21, and 62, and they're all skinny string bean men. They've gone and started buying their own snacks. They buy all their food at Dollar General.
What?
They make fun of me. Sometimes they'll bring me in like a little
With the
bit of.
doctor in the house?
They bring me grass. They're like, "Did you want to put this in your salad? Did you want some
Well,
family
okay.
little lambs of God?"
Uh-huh. Yeah. You'll be taking care of them.
Or paying the nurse. Yeah, go ahead. I gotta go dance.
That's right. That's right. What oh gosh, brain fog. Just
Constant.
hit that fast. Let's talk about that. Since we're here.
Constant.
So what the hell can we do in our diet for brain fog? I keep every time I speak to it's a volunteer. She's amazing. She's on our dinner on block team, and she's going through menopause as well. And she's like, "Yo, you gotta come up with something for this brain fog." And I'm like, "I know, I'm working on it, but
It's
it's
crazy and it's
crazy."
so real and it's so constant and it's actually scary, right? Because we see more and more, but again, the only things that have been proven are exercise, right? And then your brain, I always think it helps to understand what it's made of and how it works to know what would help feed it, right? Every car has a different kind of oil. Every part has a different thing that it needs. And the brain, you've heard of white matter and gray matter. The white matter is that fatty outside layer. And it will get holes eaten in it like a dried up old sponge, right? So to keep it juicy and fat, you need all the healthy fats, all the omega-3s, avocados, nuts, olive oil. And I don't want to hear what you do and don't like, right? When I tell people, some people avocado, as soon as you say it, right?
I love
Yeah, like
avocado. Yes, I do, but I get that. I get that
it's
a lot too because I
me
love it
too.
so, and there's so many
and,
people
and
that
and
don't.
which is
Yeah,
fine. Then get it in
fine.
something else. Do
Yeah.
avocado oil. Do plant-based oils like the not vegetable oil, not corn oil, but like olive oil, grapeseed oil, avocado oil from a good source, a whole reliable clean source, Trader Joe's, one of those. Um, and
Yes.
then the gray matter that also works on electricity. Again, to keep that system, that's where vitamin B's are great. And vitamin B's are really high in berries, right? All those purple and red. So if you're eating all your berries every day, I never run out of blueberries ever. I don't care what season it is, right? And I love them on my salad, but that's your vitamin B's. That's what keeps your nervous system, the electrical parts of the brain working. And we're going to
Wow.
forget things, right? When all this started, before women's lib, we had to manage every single thing in the house. Women's lib came, now we have to manage our entire job and every single thing in the house, and the kids, and ourselves, and the no brain can really handle all that, right? Especially if A, you're not getting 7 hours sleep a night, and B, you're not getting all the nutrients you need, and C, you're not moving your muscles. All those vessels that feed the brain, they're muscles, right? If your muscles are not in shape, neither is your brain. And look, I'm in shape. My brain still struggles because it's always something, right? The sleep, the mood, the
Yes,
pressure,
it
the
is.
stress, the being pulled in 18 directions. Like, who does that?
Yes.
Guess who does it? Men,
Yes. Yep.
right? They don't. They
Yep.
focus, they get the thing done, they
Yep.
move on, right? We're supposed to
That's it.
juggle
Yep.
27 things. It's not normal. This 2023 woman's
Yeah.
like, this is not normal.
Now this shit is
Crazy.
crazy, and we need to sit the fuck down because we doing way too much. Like for real. Like it is like you said, you're juggling yourself trying to work, the
Right.
kids, home, your food, your diet, the exercise, the this, the that. You got this business that you try to do over here. You're trying to help this person, talk to your girl. It's
Answer all the
way
texts,
too
right?
much. We really need
My coffee
it.
mug
Like
that I
we,
drink out of, my favorite one ever, says, a wise woman once said, fuck this shit. And she lived happily ever after. That's how I start my day every day.
I need
Right?
that.
Like, try to just, fuck this shit.
That's the best coffee mug ever heard of right there. Like I think we all need one of them. We need to start
Yes.
that movement. Girl, get your coffee mug and let's get this
Yes.
day started.
Yes. Because it's too much. And it's not going to happen.
It is
Yeah.
too much. It is
Mhm.
so crazy. Oh my gosh, we can go on and on. I just got a couple
Yes,
more things
ma'am.
for you. First, talking about like all the different colors and the diet and the vegetables and the fruits. I got my husband a
Mm-hmm.
juicer for
Uh-huh.
Father's Day. So we've
Yeah.
been juicing. And it's like every week we go to the farmer's market and get all the fruit and the vegetables. And how is that like as healthy as they say it is for you?
It's healthier than soda, right? And you're getting all the nutrients from all the fruits and veggies. What you're not getting is the metabolizing it, right? The juicer is getting all the fiber out. The juicer is doing all the chewing. Part of even our GI system, sound like a broken record, but our GI system is made out of muscle. As a muscle, right? Your tongue is a muscle. You move it, it starts to process. Your esophagus is a muscle. It squeezes the food down to the stomach. The stomach is a muscle, right? Like, so if you take all the work away from it, it promotes a healthy biome. It's called the gut biome because you're getting the things from the vegetables, but you're not getting the digestion. And so it can't replace
Okay.
eating it. It's a nice supplement to a healthy diet, but it's not these juice cleanses and all that. That's all kind of temporary, not sustainable. Talk to people in their 90s. Not one of them was a huge dieter, or B, like do this real quick or do that real quick. They all do it all in
Yeah.
moderation. That's what gets you there. So
Yeah.
it's not a harmful thing to add. It's not the same as eating fruits and vegetables.
Got it. That
Yeah.
makes total sense. We don't do like the
Yeah.
juice
Right.
cleanse or it's an
Yes.
addition to
Yeah.
our diet, but it totally makes sense because I do sit there and watch all of that good pulp and fiber get pushed through to the other side, and it's like we gotta
Right.
throw
Right.
this away. So
Right.
I get that part. I definitely get that part. Now, I like alcohol. I like me a cocktail, a drink, a glass
Yeah.
of wine. I know you
I
do not
hang
partake.
out with Luscious. Listen, I just went to a wine festival this weekend. All my girlfriends drink. Yeah.
How detrimental is that to us, especially during menopause? Like I know that when I drink, of course it brings on hot flashes and stuff like that. But I mean, Sharon got my pants on when I drink, so my hot flashes are
Yes.
not as intense,
Yes.
you know, but I still
Yes.
will get them. How detrimental is drinking? Like, is it okay every now and again, or
Well, let's
should we,
start with the good thing about
no, all the
alcohol,
way?
especially red wine has that enzyme hormone. I can't remember what it is, but it has resveratrol in it. And resveratrol
Hmm.
has been shown to help reverse the process of aging, has been shown to help the liver, right? That's red wine, and that's a serving up to once a day. So that
What's
part,
what's a
I,
serving?
I think it's like 4 ounces. I remember Weight Watchers had these wine glasses with like a line, and all the people who drank wine were like, "That ain't no serving," right? Like, yeah, a serving. But that's the same with every food, right? A serving of nuts. I
It
just had to come to Jesus
definitely,
with
it
myself.
definitely
Like
is.
my serving of nuts, I'm in complete denial. It is not helping me with my weight at all because I love them.
I mean, because it'd be like five, and it's like, no, what am I gonna do
Right.
with that? Like I need a handful. I need a
A handful,
cupful.
and then I'm gonna need to go back and get a couple more handfuls, right? Like
Exactly.
same thing with alcohol. Now, what
So,
alcohol does, as you mentioned, is make the hot flash worse. It make the hot flashes worse, and it does go through the liver. So the liver is the detox center of our body. That's where all the chemicals go. The liver then says, okay, this is good for me, put that in the body. This is bad for me, put that in the trash. You put too much trash, and that's, again, sugar, cholesterol, fat, alcohol. The liver gets overwhelmed, and it can't keep up. So what it does is, the quickest thing it can do is turn it into fat and set it to the side. So liver should look like a piece of liver in the market. Once you start to deposit all this extra stuff as fat in the liver, it starts to look like ground beef with fat flecked all through it. And then it starts to look like sausage with big chunks of fat. It's fatty liver. And then that liver will then get inflamed and swell up with fat and be the same as a person who drank 2 pints of vodka a day. It'll shrink down, scar up, and get cirrhosis. And non-alcoholic fatty liver is now one of the number one causes of cirrhosis. So, yeah.
wow.
So, I mean, it's, again, it's like my crumble cookies. For me, my weekend splurge is that, right? For somebody who loves alcohol, every single one of my friends that I hang out with, their weekend splurge is that. Not to call you out, is what you do, right? Yeah. And let me also say the only reason I don't drink is because it gives me migraines, and also alcoholism runs in my family, and I don't want to like it too much. It scares me, but so it's just not a good fit for me. Sugar is
Understood. Listen, let's jump on let's see if we can take, anybody have any questions for Dr. Brown? Anything you want to ask? I know we've been talking.
We can go.
We get on here and we talk.
Y'all can go. Sorry, zip it, lock it.
We talk. Any questions? Anybody have any questions? No? Let me see. Hey, Carly. Sounds like you're saying no more drinking. I don't think that's
Moderation, right? Drink on the weekend. Have a little bit of wine every night. Do what you gotta do, girl. The football mom saw me today.
Tia.
Hi, Tia.
Hey, gorgeous. I'm not ready to give up my drinks. Do it in moderation, yes. I mean, what does moderation look like? Some days it's, more, some days it's less.
Hi, juice joint lady. What's the name of? Wait,
oh yeah.
I can't remember what cup I said.
Oh, the cup, the coffee cup.
It says, I got it as a gift, but it says, a wise woman once said, fuck this shit. And she lived happily ever after. Sure, you can get it on Amazon. Get on Amazon. You know who else has real good cups? Is Spencer Gifts. They have a lot of stuff in there. But they got some good mugs in there, too.
Yes.
Any advice about hot flashes? Yeah, so the hot flashes, I've noticed since I changed my nutrition, my hot flashes got way more tolerable. Right? And when they're coming, the other thing is I used to, when I was getting a hot flash, well, besides my pretty moody patches, which I love, right? I love. But now that I'm eating more nuts with magnesium, I get them less. And I used to start to get upset and worked up when my hot flash started. Now I let it flow and ease into it. And honestly, I have not broke out in a sweat. I get the warmth and I relax. Like I just tell myself to relax and it works.
And that's really good too, because it's like you do feel like in that moment, like, and it depends on what you're doing and where you're at. That could make you more stressful and bring it out.
I get them seeing sensation, but it used to be when I was with a man, I would get worse hot flashes because I knew they didn't understand. I didn't know such much. And then now I'm like, look, I'm about to sweat, right? And I put my thing down. I don't get out. Yeah. And then
like I'm about to sweat. So
I see a question about healthy sweetener. I will say
sweetener.
The unprocessed ones are a great choice. You just have to recognize that they are still sugar. So raw sugar, honey, agave, all those work. They're just still sugar and a serving size. For me, a serving size didn't used to be sweet enough in those things. Um, I was addicted to Splenda, which has now been proven to cause heart attacks. Like the machines that make Splenda broke down.
What?
So yeah, and they still sell it to us, right? Sweet and Low has saccharin that causes cancer.
Wow. Yes.
NutraSweet is
Mm-hmm.
aspartame that has also had some detrimental effects. So for the most part, I try to stick with stevia, and then I just curtailed my artificial sweetener in general. Tame my sweet tooth, tell it that it's getting a treat this weekend. Shut the fuck up. Right? I'm eating these
Yep.
vegetables. Put a little honey on the salad. That's all you get in sweet tooth. Every now and then, I am addicted to the sugar-free Werthers, which probably have bad sugar in them. But when I have to have something sweet, like it soothes my soul, then I have a sugar-free Werther's.
Yeah, I got away from those. I used to do Splenda a lot. And Michael said, let's sue them. I used to do Splenda a lot and I stopped. I do raw sugar. I know it's still sugar. I do agave. And I just got some raw
Yeah,
coconut sugar, which I
I've tried
haven't
that.
tried yet, but
Yeah,
I'm curious. Did you like it?
not a lot, but it was sweet. It's honest, man. I like sugar.
Ah,
So, yeah,
yeah.
I did it. I did the coconut sugar. And you know where you can get a lot of those alternative natural sweeteners is at that Indian market, Apna Bazaar. Their sugar
Oh,
section,
I
they
didn't
have
know
all
that.
kind of sugars, and I've tried them all, and some of them are really good. And then, of course, the monk fruit, that one's good too. Yeah,
I had the monk fruit one.
it
It has a
does.
distinctive taste
They
that
all have a different taste,
yeah,
and for different
they
reasons.
do. They
Yeah.
actually
Oh,
do.
and I
They
left
do.
out.
They really do.
Sorry, I left out
No, go
organic
ahead.
maple syrup. So one of my healthy girlfriends uses that, and I put that on some salmon this weekend and like air fried it with some.
It was good.
It was delicious.
Okay. All right. So some organic maple syrup, and then we throw in all the artificial
Yeah.
sweeteners in the trash because they're not good for us. And I'm just checking to make sure it's nobody else with questions in here. Bernice has said make burgers. She might have been talking
Oh,
about the
oh
veggies,
yeah.
getting them in there. Yes. Um, oh, last thing. Sorry. Is there anything that we can do? Anxiety. Is there anything that we could eat, supplement anxiety? Because that anxiety is
And
bananas.
it's constant. So one is to, and this sounds cheesy, but it's so true, right? Know yourself, love yourself, and reassure yourself, right? Give yourself grace. Mine comes, and I have told my kids this since they were little. If I wake up at 1 to 3 in the morning, any of those times, that's when my mind is more dangerous than 4th Street, right? All the crazy thoughts. What if, whatever? But you didn't even add, you didn't do this. And what if you did, right?
Yeah,
It's
that's
constant
right.
and never ever stops.
Yeah,
So to know, you know what?
yeah.
I did my best and I choose sleep. Like you really talking to yourself. Like I mentioned before, I've been in therapy off and on for years, right? My therapist helps ground me. Like, okay. And
Yes, yes.
yeah,
Mine too. I love
training your
therapy.
brain.
I
Like I
love it.
mentioned, the brain works on electricity. Electricity always takes the path of least resistance. The path of least resistance is the most familiar one, not necessarily the healthiest one. So you recognize,
Hmm.
oh, I'm going down that rabbit hole again, right? And then you know it.
Yes,
And I've learned to
yes.
tune myself into my verbal cues, right? Even a toxic patient, even somebody that I know is going to confront me. When I feel myself like that, I pause, right? I breathe. I reassure myself. You see my office. I have affirmations every day going where people think I'm trying to help them. I am, but that's also for
It's
me,
for us.
right?
It's for listen. You sit in the salon. I
Yes,
read them every
yes.
single day. I read them. Somewhere I see something and I read it, and the affirmations help
It
trust
does. And
tremendously.
sleep. So I I can't sleep, right? I am an insomniac. My mind never stops. I don't know if I shared this earlier, but I've had 14 deaths in 3 months, right?
Oh,
All these people.
I'm
Thank you.
sorry. I'm
And
so
it's
sorry to hear that,
traumatic,
guys.
right?
So
So I've
sorry.
started taking
Yes.
ashwagandha with
Uh-huh.
my melatonin. I love it. I also have for the weekends, I save up my little CBD gummies, right? Whatever it takes to calm my mind enough to get the sleep. Once I have the sleep and I've engineered my environment at work and at home, I set boundaries, right? When it's my time, it's my time. If this is too
That's
much,
it.
I draw the line. And they know, and I have people in place to help take care of me and shield me and reinforce me when I need it.
That's right.
Right? My friends are
That's
that way.
right.
My family,
That's
when they're
so
not that way,
important.
my door is shut tight, right? Because this is that no stress zone at night, right? Something has to be
Yep.
really wrong.
That's
We've
right.
already spoken, so what is it you need? And not in a mean way, but in a, I have to restore.
That's it. That's so it right there. And I find that sometimes when you set those healthy boundaries, the people around you sometimes are not used to it. And, they kind of want to give
Or
some
throw a
pushback.
tantrum.
It's okay.
Yeah.
Listen, and it's okay. Let them do what they got to do. But you still got to do what the hell you got to do for you, because it's important that we understand we have to
Yes.
show up for ourselves first.
Yep.
First. If I'm beat down, wore out, can't think straight, having an anxiety attack, a panic attack, a hot flash, my coochie dry, like all this shit's happening, and then you got all these demands. Like I, I,
Yeah.
I have to come to center with myself to get myself together, so that then I can present her
Yeah.
to you,
Yeah.
whoever you
That's
are, the kids, the husband, the employees, like
whoever.
whoever,
Yep.
friends.
And I
Yes,
have an easier time
it's
doing that.
real.
Green Girl said breathing through and also affirmations. Yes, I have.
Yes,
It's way easier for
yes,
me when I've eaten my nutrients and drunk my water. If I'm dehydrated,
for
hungry, and
sure.
not nourished, guess what? Anxiety is right
It's
there.
gonna be. I was about to say it's gonna be worse for
It's a
everybody.
little better when I'm
For
hydrated. It might be right
everybody.
here, right? But it
You know what I
never
mean?
goes away. It's always there. I just talk to it. They'll just move out
Yes,
the way. Move out the way. Move out. Right? Yes.
that's right. And Lanice, she came back and she said, use the pulp to make veggie burgers. That's
Oh,
good,
yes.
Lanice. Thank
She's
you for
the
that.
veggie
I mean,
queen,
she
isn't
does
she?
own a
Yeah.
juice joint, and she's the best. Yeah,
And her veggie burgers are off the chain,
Thank
too. I tasted
you.
them.
Yes. Oh my God. And her solids, the juice, everything. She's actually um on our e-store this year for Janae on Blanc.
Oh,
So you can purchase her
yay.
juices on our e-store for
And I
Janae on Blanc this
never
year.
had a
Yes,
juice from her I
yes.
didn't
So we're
like.
excited
They were
about that.
awesome. Her food's awesome. Her juice is awesome.
All
It's
of them.
all good.
Every
Okay.
single last one of them are
And they're
amazing.
filling.
Yes.
It makes it way easier. I forgot to mention this in the nutrition part. The other thing that has been proven to work for sugars and health and cholesterol and everything is intermittent fasting. And it can be difficult sometimes, and you don't, again, call it failure, but your goal is 16 hours of fasting with that 8-hour eating window. In that fasting, you get your hydration in. So you do all the fluids. And I had an old lady
Ah.
today who I promise you never moves. Right? This old woman, she only complains of it. And she did intermittent fasting and lost 15 pounds in 3 months. Right? Yeah.
What?
And it worked.
And I like how you broke that down, because I've never had it explained like that. Like you're doing that time, that your downtime is really not down, because you're getting your
Yeah.
hydration at that time. So that's
Yeah.
really good. Oh my gosh, this was so
Thank you.
amazing.
I love being with you. I love when you have
Yes.
me, and I love Pretty Moody. Thank you.
Oh, I love, love, love everything about you. My husband loves you. Pretty Moody
Thank
loves you. The platform loves you. It's just
you.
all love. Hi, Star. I just saw Star jump on too. Well, that kind of like wraps it up for us
Yay.
tonight. Thank you. This was so amazing. Now, I always ask for you to leave something positive for the community before you leave. Like, what would you leave the ladies with as it refers to menopause and nutrition?
First of all, you're here, right? You're here. You care.
Amen.
You want more. Keep doing that. You're enough. We're it. Our
That's
elders
right.
need us. Our children need us. The next generation needs us. And we're here. We're doing it. We empower each other, right? It's so good. And guess what we have now? August 6th, right? We're really connected now. The Alabama brawl,
What's
the
you?
Alabama thing.
Oh my
I don't want to hit
gosh!
it
Yeah, I'm
'cause
like, wait a minute.
we're
What's August?
so connected
Yes,
now. We
honey.
have each other. We have our backs. We're united again, right? Like the 70s.
Yes,
Like,
yes,
it's us.
yes, for real, for real. I just saw a post. Social media goes crazy when shit like that happens, and they said the dollar store had little mini folding chairs they were selling, like in packs for like party favors. I'm like, yeah, we need to do a
A
folding chair
white one
party
for
now.
DED, right? Like,
I listen. I was trying to get a post like with a white chair with a symbol, but nah. Husband said you can't do that.
but we're connected. Like, it
Listen,
woke us up. We're already here. We're already
for
all
sure.
doing it, right? Lanisa's doing it. Tia's doing it. Like the Green Girl said, you're doing it, right? We're living our best lives
Yes,
and getting through. And that's what there is to do. And we do a better job of it when we're healthy. We'll handle menopause better because we're healthy. And we'll help the next generation get through. It won't be this hush hush like our parents had with us, right? We're changing
that's
the
right.
world,
That's
right? We
right.
are enough and we are doing it.
Yes, we are. Yes, that is so profound. Thank you so much, Dr. Angela Davis
Thank
Brown,
you.
for being here again with us tonight. Love, 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 love you. And I know you'll be back soon.
Thank you so much. I love you.
Thank you. Mwah.
Good night.
Good night, everybody. Thank you all for joining us tonight. We appreciate you, and we cannot have a Pretty Moody platform without you all. We appreciate you. Thank
Good
you,
night.
and good night. Stay pretty.